Hi guys, this is Allison from Alley Creations. How are you? Please share and subscribe to my channel if you have yet to do so. And if you get anything from my work, a connect on epiphany, a mind explosion, a new book to read, a new author to explore, please consider supporting my work. All the links are at the bottom of the description of this video. Creations211.com is my website. In the future, you will see hyper-realistic portrait drawings, paintings, fire horse, paint and sip paintings, craft and sips, lots of pyramids there. Please go check it out. And if you're interested in purchasing anything, doing commerce with me, commissioning me, please email me. It's the best way to get in touch with me. I also have 3D, 4D memberships. I have 2-tier memberships on my channel. It's a really great way to support me and the channel. You guys get special emojis. I go live twice a week, Tuesday and Friday, for the most part, unless life gives me life. I do raffles here and there. Once in a blue moon, I'll do a raffle and you guys get free entry. 3D gets one, 4D gets two. Some people win my pyramids. I just uploaded the member only content, which is oracle card readings. I do over an hour long oracle card reading based on the people that are in the memberships, and I tune into their energy and I pull. And it's worth it. I charge $40 for an hour to do a reading. You guys are getting 4 readings a month. Do the math. But if that's not your cup of tea, 4D gets special exclusivity into my world of trying to branch spirituality and quantum physics together, trying to make a little roadmap, couple of episodes to help you kind of understand when I'm talking about collapsing the wave function, superposition, timelines, all of that stuff, and like correlating it with spirituality because I'm not a physicist, I'm a spiritualist. So come and check those out. It's just a really nice way to give back, and I give you guys back as well. Try to be equal give and take here. It is late. I had a migraine yesterday during the live. I had a really hard time as my energy was fluctuating. I did take some stuff to help with the migraine and headache. So it weaned in and out of those two. Lots of ear tunings, and it kicked my brain in the butt. And I slept in a bit today. Still, I woke up with a migraine. And now it's kind of like there's pressure there, but it's not something I can't handle. Um, upgrading, upgrading, to say the least. But it's really, really cold right now. Here it's negative. Let's see. Right now it's reading 0 degrees. It's like -10. So it's still very, very cold out. It is snowing here. So that's normal for up here, supposedly. But the next couple of days, it's just going to be ridiculous. So, yay. It's another reason why I'm probably not my best. But also, we're going to do quantum AI and metaphysical ponderings. But if I got some snacks thanks to Ash Maya. If we are questioning like why you're overly like I was so exhausted and I had the best day ever yesterday. Like I did not have children. I got to clean. Like that's my heyday. I organized my room. I make coffee. I was happy. I wasn't bothered by anybody. It was phenomenal yesterday. And I was like, hi. I look crazy drunk, but I wasn't. I haven't had a drink in a while. Um, One of the quantum unfolding videos talked about like how your body is literally recapitulating the frequency within. It's a process, and the extreme exhaustion is no amount of coffee or anything is going to help besides rest. The cards kind of spoke about the rest and the needing to ground and connect to nature as always, but it's really asking you to rest, and I am being forced to rest. But that doesn't mean I don't want to do what my highest excitement is. I can't get to sleep. It's too cold. My house is heated. It's just I have a lot of windows and a lot of draft, and I have towels and blankets stuffed in windowsills, so just cold. So we're gonna do a quantum AI metaphysical ponderings video because why not? You guys deserve it. And if some of you are in the middle of the storm and not wanting to go to sleep, that is so bizarre if you're seeing that. All right, I got it on. A lot of this has been popping up in the purview in my Facebook feeds. This is usually where I get all my quantum information from. And no, is it the last, like the first several, maybe year that I've been doing the quantum AI metaphysical pondering video and I've been reading articles, a lot of that stuff, there's either a paywall or a lot of it is spam or redirection. And I am not a fan of that at all. So I rather take what I can get from where I can get it at, and I kind of hard align with it. So I only share the things that I find interesting or that I want to look further into. That's right. You are a conscious creator of reality. Yes, you. I say it all the time, but maybe we have another perspective here to bridge the gap. You are a point of awareness through which reality organizes itself. Experience forms in response to the beliefs you hold about existence, self, and possibility. These beliefs act as living structures, shaping perception and guiding events into expression. Thought is creative by its very nature, and emotion supplies its momentum. Together, they provide the blueprint from which personal reality emerges. The present moment serves as a nexus of influence. Within it, probabilities gather and diverge, responding to attention and expectation. Time flows outward from this point of power, flexible and responsive to consciousness. As awareness shifts, new paths become available, and experience rearranges itself accordingly. And experience, I'm going to repeat that, experience rearranges itself accordingly. What appears fixed is often sustained only by continued agreement. What is happening right now that many of us are doing the fine tuning of our nervous systems. Many of us are being presented with this quantum metaphysical multiverse many worlds interpretation paradigm is reality is recapitulating itself around the new nervous system. Yes, we're getting pings and echoes of the old timeline that is trying to anchor us back in, but most of us are already have arrived. We are reality itself. We have the deeper understanding of thyself. And now, because we are in a very dense state, our cells, our nervous systems, and everything within our biochemistry is recapitulating itself to accommodate reality, and it's reorganizing people, places, and things to collapse, aka manifest, the reality in which we are merging with, which is different from the old timeline. Identity extends far beyond the physical personality. The self you recognize is a focused aspect of a greater being that operates across many layers of reality simultaneously. Like I said, there's many, many versions of you out there living a different life. Dreams, intuitions, impulses of imagination, and spontaneous insight are natural communications from these broader dimensions of selfhood. They are methods of guidance offering direction through resonance rather than command. You participate in reality through shared frameworks of belief, biological, cultural, emotional, and collective. These frameworks are not prisons, but cooperative agreements open to revision. When inner agreements change, outer circumstances respond. Growth unfolds through recognition and choice, guided by curiosity and intent rather than struggle. And here lies the conundrum that many of us are in. We are capitulating our reality, wanting for humanity, peace, prosperity, harmonious love, unconditional love, freedom, sovereignty, and you can put more labeled words onto it. But it's why certain races see the struggle more than others. It's to overcome all these obstacles. And it's just experience. That's all. It really is. Reality itself is conscious and participatory. It responds to the tone of your expectations and the clarity of your inner signals. Imagination is a faculty of perception, emotion, a compass of alignment. As you listen inwardly and act from coherence, experience reshapes itself in kind. You are here to explore, to create meaning, and to discover the creative intelligence that moves through you as you move through the world. Nothing I haven't said on this channel for years. But we have a greater understanding now of how it actually works. Me saying we're, the Schumann resonance is having a blackout and we're shifting timelines. Okay, what does that actually mean? Humanity has up-leveled in consciousness to a point where the time, it goes into a dilation, which means time stops. Obviously our linear time continues, but like we stop, breathe, and choose a different outcome to circumstances that are on the outside of us and in the inside of us. Collectively, this is going to continue to shift and happen. More people are doing the inner purging work of shadow work, the ego death. All of these things are happening in different intervals and at different levels. For the first wave, not saying that like it's not a Dolores Cannon wave where you're born during this time to this time, you're this. F the labels, you're all things. But there are people who have awoken in remembering and knowing thyself than others. So the people who are doing the hermit journey now, your bodies are recapitulating, they are upgrading, they are getting your system ready to hold a full throttle of frequency on a new timeline that's already here. You're just starting to merge with it. And with that comes a lot of changes internally as much as externally. You made enough room for this merger of that higher self that you chose in superposition on that timeline of the desired result. Meaning, for me, I want the husband, I want the car. And just a car that is a reliable car that I don't have to have my issues like I've been having the last 6 months with it, or last 3 years, really. But the car has served me for 16 years, right? Like it's no longer serving its purpose where I'm living. It's not safe. I want, I don't want, I already have. I have to merge with the timeline where my YouTube channel has already taken off. I have 100K plus subscribers. I have memberships galore, and that's my focus. My work is my focus of this, where I have a balanced life. I'm not always working. I can actually relax. I'm not forcing anything. It's just happening. The opportunities to grow my art, to just do my art and to sell it and to make 6 figures, that is obtainable. So I chose from a timeline of self that is stuff that I know in this vehicle I can obtain. I didn't go over or under the mark. I am landing where I believe I know I can get there. I will get there. I am there. It's just merging those aspects of those things to myself, and the opportunities will start opening up and coming. You create your reality. Your focus, your thoughts, your subconscious, for the most part, needs to be looked at and refined and retuned to a different program. It's going to be staticky for a while until you tune to the radio station of clarity. Too many people are giving their and throwing their attention away to the 3D materialistic movie programs, narratives. If you understand this in its essence, that I create my own reality, that my reality is based off of the experiences that I feel, absorb, and embody, that I see from these two eyes, and maybe my third eye, a different dichotomy than anybody else and uniquely to self. No one knows how I feel love or experience love or project love. How certain things don't bother me and it bothers other people. We are all unique. So, well, I'm one of the very few people that will say, only go in if it heart aligns with you, because my reality is not yours. How I feel, how I perceive is not the way that you perceive. There is no right and wrong. Your truth is not invalid. It's valid to you. We all wrote his story. We wrote all of this. So there are going to be a large populace of people who side with one aspect of the story than the other. when you can look beyond the story and see that you wrote it, take accountability and move on. Like, okay, we needed this experience. It was a little ugly. I didn't like the perception that I wrote for myself, but hey, I needed it for soul growth. Cool, check, move on. Work is not easy. And the way I've been feeling lately, the headache thing happened yesterday. That's not a normal thing. Like, I don't get headaches like that. And I don't feel this out of it tired. And sure, could it be a deficiency in something? I take a lot of supplements, so I don't know, maybe. Or am I upgrading? For the next article, this isn't so much an article as it is just something I am actually researching right now. Quantum Zeno effect is a phenomenon in quantum physics where observing a particle prevents it from decaying as it would in the absence of observation. This has been confirmed in an experiment by Cornell physicists. Their work has helped us to control and manipulate the quantum states of atoms. So there's more for me to learn about the Zeno effect. A few of the videos I've listened to with quantum unfolding has described the Zeno effect, which does play a big role in how we are observing our reality and what is able to be actually merged into physicality and what the things that we want that are not. So I'm still researching it and learning about it. This journey I'm on is I understand the basics, but I like to go very deep. Magazinejournal.com. Somewhere out there, another you is making a different choice. This puts the biggest smile on my face. The idea that somewhere in the universe, another version of you is making a different choice is both unsettling and fascinating. Long treated as a theme of philosophy and science fiction, this concept has gained renewed attention through developments in quantum physics and cosmology. In particular, theories suggesting the existence of multiple realities challenge traditional assumptions about uniqueness, causality, and personal identity. This article examines the scientific foundations behind the notion of alternative versions of self, focusing on the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics and related cosmological models. Rather than speculative storytelling, the discussion emphasizes evidence-based frameworks, mathematical reasoning, and interdisciplinary perspectives. By clarifying what science actually claims and what it does not. This analysis aims to separate rigorous theory from metaphor while exploring why the idea of divergent choices resonates so strongly with the human experience. The origins of the another you concept. Determinism, choice, and classical physics. Where we're moving away from 3D thinking. In classical physics, the universe is largely deterministic. Given complete knowledge of initial conditions, future outcomes are theoretically predictable. Within this framework, there is only one version of events and one version of each individual. Human choice, while psychologically meaningful, does not create multiple physical outcomes. Instead, it unfolds along a single continuous timeline governed by cause and effect. 3D model. Quantum mechanics and intermediary. Indeterminacy, however you pronounce that. Brain doesn't brain all the time. Indeterminacy. Blah, blah. Quantum mechanics fundamentally altered this view. At microscopic scales, physical systems do not evolve deterministically, but probabilistically. Experiments repeatedly show that outcomes cannot be predicted with certainty, only with statistical likelihoods, because it's all based on the person and their frequency and vibration that is observing the entangled particle. Indeterminacy opened the door to interpretations in which all possible outcomes may, and in some sense, occur. The many worlds interpretation explained. Core principles of many worlds theory. Proposed by Hugh Everett III in 1957, the many worlds interpretation suggests that every quantum event with multiple possible outcomes results in a branching of reality. Each outcome occurs in its own distinct branch of the universe, and we are in one. Under this framework, there is no collapse of the wave function. Instead, reality continually divides, producing parallel versions of the universe. In this framework, though, I pause. The wave function does collapse in the branch of reality of which you're experiencing. Not completely, but in fractal form. What does this mean? What this means for personal choices? If quantum events influence neural processes, even indirectly, then every decision point could correspond to multiple outcomes. In one branch, you make a choice. In another, you make a different one. So, for example, in this branching of reality I am currently experiencing, I'm single. In the other branching of reality, that breakup never existed. I'm continuing on in that relationship. Scientific evidence and limitations. Experimental support and mathematical consistency. The many worlds interpretation is mathematically consistent with quantum mechanics and makes the same experimental predictions as other interpretations. The equivalence means it cannot currently be confirmed or falsified through direct observation yet. Its strength lies in explanatory simplicity. By removing the need for wave function collapse, it avoids unresolved questions about when and how observation affects reality. Competing interpretations. Alternative interpretations, such as the Copenhagen interpretation or objective collapse theories, do not require multiple universes. They explain quantum probabilities through different mechanisms, emphasizing measurement or spontaneous collapse. Comparative analysis shows that debate is not about experiential accuracy, but about conceptual coherence. That's where the Allison's branching of the episodes of what I'm working on needs to be refined, because both are true, because in one reality the Copenhagen interpretation is playing out and the other one is the many worlds interpretation without collapse. So it all exists. It's just, which one are we perceiving exists? What are we observing? That's the conundrum that most people like. All of it exists. All exists. So in one interpretation, Copenhagen is playing out, and the other reality, many worlds, is playing out without collapsing. So it's an interesting paradigm for sure. Cosmological perspectives on multiple realities, the multiverse beyond quantum mechanics. Some cosmological models propose a multiverse independent of quantum branching. Inflatory cosmology, for example, suggests that different regions of space-time may form distinct universes with varying physical constants. Now, this is also something that if we can merge all of this together but I'm not there yet, but this is why it's so hard to branch spirituality with a lot of this because it kind of meshes all together spiritually, but in the quantum world, science world, eh, it's like a hard no for some people. And then it becomes theory, and all of us have a knowing that's beyond theory. In these models, other versions of you would be unlikely as conditions differ dramatically. However, they reinforce the broader idea that reality might not be singular. Probability and scale. Estimates suggest that observable universe contains over 10 22 what is that called? I can't even do the math, guys. Stars. Um the little 22. What is that? Squared? However that is. When combined, I'm so bad at my dad was a math teacher. Shh. Sorry, Dad. When combined with multiverse scenarios, the scale of possible outcomes becomes immense, lending statistical plausibility to repeated patterns under certain assumptions, philosophical and psychological implications, identity and continuity. If multiple versions of you exist, what defines personal identity? Most philosophers argue that identity is branch specific. Each version experiences itself as unique and continuous, regardless of parallel counterparts. I agree with that. This preserves the practical meaning of responsibility and agency within each branch. Now, how this can be described in the spiritual land is that astronomically, when we're looking at the zodiac, we're looking at conjunctions and the planets moving through our zodiac signs, right? Each inhibits personality traits and things that have been mapped and modeled on paper. Now, when we're looking at superposition and we're looking at the self that we want to merge with, that self already has what you desire, what you are coming into. It lived it already. So that personality is refined. Your attention to reality changes because you're merging with a higher aspect of yourself, a higher density form of self, a parallel you, wherever it's coming from. It's responding to stimulus differently because it knows already how to obtain the things that you have yet to merge with. So, why we have to let go of the old paradigm of self in this branching of reality is because the trauma, the survival mode, the lack mentality, the not having it, the struggles we've all been programmed to exhibit and go through, we're done with that cycle. So how does a new self respond to the new dawn of day, to the new what we want? It refines us, it shifts us. We don't lose our sense of personality. We refine it, we recalibrate, we get rid of the things that no longer serve us. We mature as we move up. The concept of another you is a theoretical implication, not an observable fact. Eh, mm, Once again, are we working from the classical standpoint or the quantum standpoint? Because you might not be tangibly like, this is why I'm doing what I do on my channel, is I'm showing you the shifts and changes is not something you can like outwardly see. It's within my personality, it's within my energy field, it's within my resonance. People have noticed this shift in my thinking, in my personality, in my striving to obtain a better me, and they're seeing the results. That's not just doing mindset work and clearing out and purging the subconscious. That's just showing you the higher self merged with me. And now I'm recalibrating the inner branching of this reality's body and be merging with the higher self. What do you need tangible evidence for when you can see it within people? No, the opportunities are on their way. I'm arriving at the reality where the opportunities, the door swinging open, the husband, the channel, that stuff isn't going to just happen in a snap. It does not happen that way. Right? But it's on its way. It's my body's recapitulating its system to hold the frequency in order to draw these things in. Tangible evidence, it will be seen once I can obtain what I'm working for. Ultimately, whether or not other versions of you exist, the implications reinforce a key insight. Choices matter. Each decision shapes the only reality you will ever experience in this physical consciousness. They didn't add that. I did. As science continues to probe the deepest layers of existence, this perspective encourages both intellectual humility and renewed appreciation of the paths we choose. But regardless, like I said in many of my videos, there is no right or wrong way. There's a short path and the long path. You choose which one your soul chooses for you, in essence, which one you're going to take. Sometimes the short path, you already know and have gone through the lessons. You learned all the capacities you can learn a lesson through. Sometimes you didn't learn something in the way that your soul needed to understand it, comprehend it, and absorb it. So you're going to take the longer path. You're still going to get to the end result that your soul chose for you. If your soul is like, yeah, you got to jump a bunch of timelines to get to the end result of your desire, of the dream, the life fulfilled, what you signed up to do here. Okay, we're going to get you there, but it's going to be stair steps. It's going to take a while because we need you to understand the process. Because some of our missions, some of us that are here to navigate and help people do the same exact process. They're just not there yet in their capacity or frequency to even acknowledge. They're just doing their 9 to 5 life. We're thinking forward outside of linear time space and going, oh, wow, yeah, yeah, I want the world to be better. How can I get there? How can you got to do the work within because it all stems within. Your reality is where it starts. And then when you master those stair steps, you raise up and keep going and keep going. Eventually, you get to a 0 point where you can't go any further in the moment because you got to wait for everybody else to catch up with you. And then you start with all the people up in that one branch of reality in the wavelength, you start co-creating humanity and bringing it down into density. You want to ascend? It's not what you think it is. When we were viewing it from the third dimensional perspective, it was la-di-da, and this is what it is, and there's no fudging around that observation. Now that many of us are in 4D, we're not allowing the outside circumstances to dictate our reality anymore, and we're dictating our own reality, and we're going and commanding because we are the architects of reality. We are everything. Acknowledging that it's like the Matrix spoon. Go and watch that scene again. You are the spoon. It's learning how to manipulate energy. Even though someone had a little typo here, all versions of you exist simultaneously. In quantum physics, particles exist in superposition, all states at once until observed. You're the same. Every possible version of you exists in potential right now. Your nervous system state is the observer, collapsing infinite possibility into a single reality, or what we call branching. You're not discovering who you are. You're choosing which version to make real. Choose consciously. That's why you're seeing a lot of people shifting in their personalities and what they want and the things that they're choosing. And that also aligns with our planetary and astronomical stuff in 3D, but it also is crossing over in 4. And I'm making a distinguishing 3D to 4D because 3D is really where we're seeing classical mathematics and physics. 4D, we're seeing the quantum mechanics explode. New laws, new thinkings, new theories, and it's not needing to be proved. A lot of us already know what exists and what doesn't, and what's possible, the potentials. We're not narrowing down or separating and limiting like 3D. We're expanding, and we eventually will come to the root understanding that there's way more out there than we can even conceive. And for a spiritual person, we've been having that for since we were born, for many of us at least. So this next article, I've read about the deja vu thing before, but it's nice to get maybe a different perception on it, perhaps. Maybe. We'll see. Quantum deja vu theory says each moment of deja vu is a brief crossover with another version of you in a parallel world where your actions match what your other self is doing at the same time in that universe. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Deja vu hits fast. And according to one bold quantum theory, that strange spark of familiarity may be a brief crossover between you and another version of yourself living in a parallel universe or in the overlay. The moment feels real because both versions of you are doing the same thing at the same time. Researchers who explore consciousness and quantum behavior believe that deja vu may not be a brain glitch, but a signal of alignment. In this idea, countless universes exist side by side or overlaying, each holding a slightly different version of you. When two timelines sync for a heartbeat, your awareness picks up the echo, giving you the sharp feeling of, I've lived this before. What makes this theory so fascinating is how naturally it fits the emotional weight of deja vu. The sensation is never random. It feels personal, specific, and oddly meaningful. Some scientists argue that if the multiverse is real, then these tiny overlaps could explain why the feeling arrives without warning and disappears just as quickly. Even though mainstream science still treats deja vu as a memory processing effect, quantum thinkers believe the experience might be a clue about how consciousness interacts with deeper layers of reality. If the brain can sense patterns across the universe via entanglement, right, it becomes a doorway. For now, the mystery remains open, but the idea that deja vu might reveal a parallel version of you creates a new way to appreciate the experience. Instead of brushing it off, you can see it as a sign that your life may be connected to something larger, stranger, or more beautiful than you ever expected. This is from Quantum Cookie. I like Quantum Cookie. So many people have experienced deja vu at least once or twice in their life, like profound memory, like, oh yeah, no, that I remember that deja vu moment. A lot of us have had multiple versions, but at least every person in humanity, when they are consciously aware and have lived a little bit of experience, could tell you that, yeah, no, I've experienced that before. Like I've been there before. I feel it's a different feeling, but I never been in this place physically in this body, but I feel like I've been here before. Or I feel like I know that person. We get a lot of that. Are you shifting? Maybe. I read about this the other day and we're going to explore it some more. This is Curious. 7,000 atoms visible to naked eye exist in two places at once. Ultimate Schrodinger's cat. Schrodinger's cat thought experiment illustrates quantum superposition. A cat inside a box linked to a radioactive atom is both alive and dead until observed, highlighting weirdness of quantum rules where particles exist in multiple states at once until measured. Physicists of University of Vienna created the biggest ever version using a Bose-Einstein condensate at 7,000 uridium, I don't know how to pronounce that, atoms cooled near absolute zero into a single quantum wave spread across a millimeter cloud visible to the naked eye. In superposition of two positions of states simultaneously. Optical tweezers and laser feedback isolated the cloud from decoherence long enough to verify entanglement via interference patterns, scaling macroscopicity 10 times beyond prior records, like 300 rudium atoms or protein-sized clusters, bridging quantum micro to classical micro worlds. This millimeter scale metal cat advances quantum sensors, metrology, simulators toward fault-tolerant computing. Okay, there's a lot of words there that are like, what the hell? But in essence, it's proving, you see, the new optics and the new lasers in these experiments are going to explore and expand the untangible things that can't be seen yet still exist, and are going to prove a lot of what a lot of us already know, but are in the unseen. That thought experiment is huge. You don't know if the cat's dead or alive until you see it. That's a measurement. But take all that scientific words out. There's a lot of advancements happening right now for our betterment of understanding how the world works. And it is at a microscopic level that we need to see it at. We have another article here. Did you know quantum field theory suggests vacuum states hold entangled spread across all possible boundaries? Quantum field theory suggests that even the vacuum is not empty, but filled with entanglement stretching across every possible boundary. Scientists explain that the vacuum contains fluctuating fields, and these fields naturally become correlated in ways that connect regions of space. This entanglement remains present even when no particles appear to exist, revealing how deeply quantum structure shapes the universe. Researchers highlight that the vacuum's entanglement is not optional. It arises from the mathematical rules governing quantum fields. When a boundary is drawn anywhere in space, the field on one side becomes linked with the field on the other. These correlations persist at every scale, from tiny distances to cosmic separations, shaping how energy and information behave. This phenomenon becomes crucial for understanding black hole thermodynamics, Hawking radiation, and the structure of space-time itself. The amount of entanglement across boundaries helps determine how surface gain entropy and how gravitational effects emerge from deeper quantum relationships. It suggests space-time geometry may originate from entangled patterns woven, love that word, throughout the vacuum. Studying these correlations help physicists explore unification between gravity and quantum mechanics. I don't like that word. Gravity. It shows that vacuum is not a simple empty backdrop, but an active structure foundation carrying information that shapes the universe. Chicken drop. Chicken drop. Bok bok chicken. Here's something short and sweet. Mind snack facts. Scientists measure ultra-fast quantum link between human understanding. Because your brain goes beyond the speed of light, it's instantaneous. Boom. I mean, it's faster than the speed of light, I can tell you that much. This is going to be a fun one. The photon sphere is a round zone where gravity is so strong it makes light orbit. And if you stood inside it and looked forward, quantum effects would let you see the back of your own head. What? One of the strangest ideas in astrophysics is the photon sphere, a region near a black hole where gravity becomes strong enough to force light to travel in perfect orbits. Inside the zone, photons loop around so tightly that looking straight ahead would actually show you the back of your own head. Reality folds in on itself in ways that feel almost unreal. The photon sphere forms just outside the event horizon, where gravity is extreme, but not yet strong enough to trap light forever. If it does, I don't think it does. Here, space curves so sharply that photons no longer travel in straight paths. Instead, they swirl around in the black hole in circles, caught in a gravitational dance shaped by the bending of space-time. If a person could somehow stand in this region, which current science says is impossible to survive, The light leaving the back of their head would circle the black hole and return directly to their eyes. You would literally witness yourself from behind without turning around. It is a direct example of how gravity could distort both space and vision in the most mind-bending way. The effect comes straight from Einstein's theory of general relativity, which shows that mass does not just pull on objects, but shapes the geometry of space-time itself. The photon sphere is a living demonstration of those equations, creating a natural mirror made entirely out of bending light. While no human will ever step into a photon sphere, understanding it helps scientists study the structure of black holes, gravitational lensings, and extreme physics. It reminds us that the universe behaves far differently at cosmic scales, revealing hidden rules that stretch our imagination and push science toward deeper discoveries about light, gravity, and the quantum fabric around us. Yeah. And the last article of the night, quantum researchers have found that light can magnetically twist and manipulate physical matter. What? Light is no longer passive, as labs show it can twist matter using magnetic force, changing how reality behaves. This breakthrough reveals energy shaping solids without touch or heat. It hints at tools that move objects with precision, once thought impossible, and opens doors to silent control at the smallest scales across science, engineering, medicine, manufacturing, space computing, materials design. Researchers learned that focused beams carry tiny rotational forces when aligned with magnetic fields. Those forces can grab particles and gently rotate them. Nothing burns or collides. Motion comes from an interaction, not impact. That subtle push could guide assembly of materials, guide signals, or steer reactions with calm accuracy inside lab factories, hospitals, satellites, sensors, robotics, optics, device systems worldwide. At its heart, this discovery connects light motion and magnetism in a surprising partnership. When conditions are tuned carefully, waves transfer spin into matter. The effect is controllable, repeatable, and clean. That matters because control without damage is the dream behind next generation tools that work softly yet powerfully for medicine, manufacturing, energy exploration, communication, dense research, education, industry, society. As we can see, AI wrote this. People often think power must be loud or violent to matter. This shows influence can be gentle and exact. By steering matter with light, engineers could build parts atom by atom, reduce waste, and save energy. Precision like this may redefine manufacturing, healing, and exploration while keeping systems stable, efficient, and quite safe, reliable, scalpable, affordable, sustainable future pathways everywhere. This moment reminds us progress arrives quietly before it changes everything. Light, once used only to see, now shapes matter itself. As ideas mature, they will move from labs into daily life. What seems magical today may soon feel normal, guiding tools, devices, and discoveries that reshape how we build and care for people, health, planet, industry, knowledge tomorrow together. And I totally forgot to share the screen. Sorry about that, guys. So I'm going to end this here, guys. I hope you got a lot out of today's quantum AI metaphysical ponderings. Please, if you're a member, go check out the member. I uploaded it, the oracle card reading. It's really good. Different, but good. I don't know what's going on tomorrow. I'm going to try to get some sleep and rest and then shovel, because I'm going to have to shovel or plow. We'll see how bad it gets. But until then, sending each and every one of you love, light, compassion, grace, shielding, and protective energy. Please go within. Be the shoulders, be the lighthouses, seed your truths and sprinkle it. Light that path forward. Please keep warm, keep safe, have an action plan, be prepared. Make sure that you have ways of charging your devices, places that you know that if something were to happen, you can stay warm. And just be safe if you're in the middle of this storm apocalypse. This is really good stuff, and I like how it's not necessarily validating, but for some of us, a lot of this stuff is validating for us. So kudos in that. Until the next time, guys, have a blessed and beautiful night, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.